Okay, Mudita, you're first today. How are you, Mudita?
กราบนมัสการเจ้าค่ะ I'm fine. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Are you in Bangkok?
Yes, still in Bangkok. Yes.
How's the situation in Bangkok?
It seems like it's getting worse, like Chonburi as well. But I just stay at home, so no effects for me.
Okay, be safe.
Thank you. You too, ท่านพระอาจารย์ because you have to go in the morning. You have to go to arms round, right? Yes.
It's okay. We put masks on. That's the protection we have. Everybody put on mask, face mask, and I think that will be okay.
And you have breakfast in your own good tea, right?
No. Someday I go to the sala, someday I go to the kuti.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay.
It's okay, right?
Whatever will be. As a Dhamma practitioner, you have to take things as they come. You cannot have a choice.
Exactly, ท่านพระอาจารย์
If you're gonna get sick, you're gonna get sick. So what? If you're gonna die, you're gonna die. So what? Don't get upset about it because it doesn't change anything.
Right.
You only hurt yourself.
Yes.
Because you don't die with the body, you don't get sick with the body.
Yes.
So you just have to detach yourself from your body.
It's also a very good Dhamma thinking that sankhara is anicca.
Yes, we all see, we all know that, but we don't want to accept that. That's the problem. We all know the body is temporary. We know it's gonna get old, get sick, and die.
Yes.
But we don't want it to. That's the problem. See.
Exactly.
So you must change your attitude towards your body. The body is gonna get old, get sick, and die, and you're not the body. So that's the only way to make yourself safe from suffering, from stress. If you can separate yourself from the body. You have any question today?
Yes, please, ท่านพระอาจารย์ I would like to ask you the meaning for Samma Kammanto and Samma Achivo in the in the
Eightfold Path.
Yes, Eightfold Paths. Yeah, in Thai meaning they seem to be similar, so I'm not sure what's the difference.
Samma Kammanto, right action of body, like the right action is to not to kill, not to steal, not to commit adultery, not to drink alcohol. These are considered to be right action.
Right.
Why right livelihood? Samma Achivo. This means your livelihood. What kind of occupation you do for a living.
Right. Oh, I see.
Your occupation should not be ones that hurt other beings.
Right.
Like you don't want to be a merchant who kills chicken, pigs, and sell them in the market.
I see.
You don't want to do this kind of livelihood.
Right. Okay. Yes, I really get it now, ท่านพระอาจารย์ What may I ask, for example, if a monk is not the monks do not have occupation, mean they don't have work like us?
Yes, we do. Our livelihood is go collect food in the morning.
Right.
Bintabat.
So, Bintabat. Yes.
That's the way of the right way for monks to make a living.
And
is to go on alms round.
Oh, I see. And not to do like for example tell lies that they have special powers and get money. That wouldn't be the right
that's lying. See, that's lying. That's wrong action.
Right. I see.
Does not mean livelihood.
Right.
Like monk should only have one occupation, that is to go collect alms food.
I see.
Not to go work and earn money like you people do.
Right. Yes. Okay. I really get it now, ท่านพระอาจารย์
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. I am all good for today.
Okay.
So yes.
I'll go to
Thank
Kenneth.
You so much.
Kenneth from Switzerland. Hi, Ken.
Hello, Ajahn.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I have no questions today, Ajahn. I'm just listening.
Are you under lockdown also right now?
Yes, to some degree. It's not very strict here, but yeah, we are on lockdown.
Okay. Yeah, the province where I'm staying right now is under lockdown also. People are not supposed to go outside unless for essential things like food, medicine.
Is that in Chonburi province?
Yes, Chonburi, Pattaya.
Oh, okay.
Pattaya is under lockdown, so all entertainment, bars and restaurants are all shut down except for takeout food.
So can the monks still go on the alms round in Pattaya?
Yes, we can go on alms round.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's very quiet this morning, barely any traffic on the road. People stay home.
Okay.
So, because it's spreading very quickly now.
Yeah.
So people here really afraid.
Yeah.
They don't want to catch it,
No.
Okay, so you have no question?
No question, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. And let me welcome Julia. I think she's our newcomer. Where are you from, Julia?
สวัสดีค่ะพระอาจารย์ Suchart. I'm from Colorado, US.
Okay. Good to meet you. You have any question?
I'm just anumodami for your practice. I've been watching after on the recording, and it's very helpful and very direct, and I feel lucky. I guess I can think of one question.
Maybe later on, maybe.
Yeah.
You can ask later on. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Just listen then. Okay. Nice to meet you and welcome to our meeting.
Thank you very much. I wish you good health.
Thank you. Okay. Let me say hello to Claudia. Hi, Claudia. Can you hear me? I think Claudia might have a little problem. She's not listening or she's not hearing. Claudia? I think we'll have to skip her for now.
Okay.
We'll go to Ka-Fai Lim. Oh, okay. Hang on,
Okay,
Ka-Fai,
okay.
hang on. Claudia is responding now. Hi, Claudia. Can you speak louder? I think maybe you have problem with your audio. When you enter the room, they ask you to click on the computer using computer audio. If you didn't click, then you will not be able to. So you might have to come back in again and the room because we cannot hear you. Sorry. I'll try unmute again. Maybe it might work. Okay. Okay now.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Can you hear me?
Yes, very loud.
Yeah. Okay. I'm from Germany.
Germany. Any places in particular?
Excuse me?
What's the city or the town you're from?
It's Fürth. It's next to Nuremberg. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I'm from Germany.
I think you have to look at the Zoom application, not the Facebook, because Facebook is a few seconds behind.
Um, Church is next to Nuremberg. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. You have to turn off the
Can you hear
Facebook
me?
volume. I think you have to look at the Zoom application. Okay, turn off the Facebook volume because. All right, now you can speak. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's better now?
Yes,
So
yes. Okay, right.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm from Germany. I live next to Nuremberg, not too far away from Munich.
Yes, we used to have a monk from Nuremberg, Germany.
Oh,
His name
good.
is Gerhard. I
Gerhard?
think Gerhard. Yes, you know him.
No.
Okay.
No.
You have any question today?
Not yet. I'm very grateful that you organized this meeting because I miss my Thai community very much. All our monks are in Thailand currently. And
Nice.
so I feel so blessed that I'm able to be on this meeting now.
Okay. Well, just stay on and listen to our discussion. And maybe later, if you want to ask any question, you can do that. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Let me say hello to Ka Phai Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajahn. Yes, from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. How are you, Ajahn?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah, I'm fine too.
Anything you like to
Yeah,
say or ask?
I have questions on making merits. Like, for instance, like giving dana, the happiness of generosity can be maximized by wisely choosing the proper motivations for giving a gift, a proper gift, and a proper recipient for one gift. The question is, what about on meditation? How can one reap a more fruitful benefits from a meditation when come to merits?
Well, by practicing properly, correctly, and achieve the result from your practice. So for meditation, you need to focus on your mindfulness. You have to have strong mindfulness to bring good result from your meditation practice. The goal of meditation is to calm your mind. See? The calmer your mind becomes, the happier you'll become. This is what we call inner happiness, inner peace.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. That's the question I have today, Ajahn.
Okay.
Anumodana, sadhu.
Hello, Sri and Czech from Vancouver. How are you?
Hello, Ajahn. How are you?
Good. Happy New Year to all of you, by the way. This is our first meeting of the year.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year.
Ajahn, and all Dhamma friends around the world.
Okay. Do you have any question?
My question is, like when Buddha say, see things as they really are, Yannasangwararam and any difference, like Tan Ajahn?
You have to repeat again. I didn't quite get it.
My question is, Buddha said like see things as they really are, right? Yannasangwararam and Sanditiko, any difference between the two?
Yannasangwararam and Sanditiko.
Yeah.
Well, Sanditiko means the Dhamma can be proven. That's what it means by the practitioner. It's not something you have to take on blind belief. As far as the teaching of the Buddha is concerned, you can prove it, that it is actually what he said it is. And then you have to have jnana dasana, seeing things as they are, to be able to prove the truth of the Buddha's teaching. So they have two different meanings, but they're related. You have sanditiko by practicing until you get jnana dasana, when you become enlightened. Yana Tasana really means being enlightened.
Oh.
Seeing the Four Noble Truths, for instance.
Yeah.
You have Yana Dasana. Vimutti Yana Dasana means seeing the liberation of the mind from suffering. The cessation of, that's the third truth in the noble Four Noble Truths, the third truth, cessation, Nirodha.
Yeah.
By the work of Magga, by mindfulness and wisdom, then you can get rid of your defilements, your cravings. Once your craving is gotten off, then your suffering or dukkha disappear. Then you have cessation, vimutti. So you can see this clearly in your mind, in your heart, from your practice. That's Jnana Dasana, which should be translated into English as being enlightened.
Oh.
Being enlightened to the truth of the Four Noble Truths. Right now, you are not enlightened because you still don't see the Four Noble Truths inside yourself. You're only imagining it. So there's a difference.
Oh, okay.
So there are different levels of Jnana Dasana.
Yes, 4 levels. Sotapanna, Sakidakami, Anagami, and Arahant.
Oh. So once see it, then this is Sanditiko. That means it's proven.
Yeah, it's proven by the practitioner.
Oh, yeah, clear.
So the Dhamma is Sanditiko. See, it can be proven. Let's put it that way. It doesn't demand you just have to have blind belief alone. But you need to believe that you need to prove it first. That's the part you have to believe. You believe that the Buddha's challenge, that he challenging you to prove his theory. Okay.
That's where we have to have faith.
Right. If you don't have faith in that, then you don't want to take up the challenge.
Challenge.
The challenge to become enlightened like him. See? He became enlightened, so now he challenged you that you can also become enlightened like him by following his teaching. This you have to believe. Then when you believe then you start to follow his teaching. And when you follow his teaching, eventually you'll come to enlightenment.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
By walking on the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yes, by sila, samadhi, and panya. As a layperson, you also have to do dana because you're still attached to money. The purpose of dana is to let go of your attachment to money. Only use them for the basic necessity of life and not for other purpose. If you want to use money to enhance your happiness, then this is wrong. This is delusional because it's not really enhancing your happiness. It's more enhancing your suffering because it means you have to work more because once you spend the money, then you have to work to get more money. So you have to stop spending money, then you don't have to work. See? Then there'll be less suffering, less problem because less work is less problem, right? The more work, the more problem.
The vicious cycle.
Yeah. So you have to stop using money for enhancement of your happiness. If you want happiness, you should use meditation or you can use charity. By giving money to charity can enhance your happiness and causing you no problem because it's not addictive like enhancing happiness with sensual objects. The more you get, the more you want to get them. But with charity, you feel more content, you feel more fulfilled, so you don't need to do charity again and again. When you don't have money to do charity, you don't feel bad. But if you use money to enhance your happiness by buying things, when you run out of money, you can no longer buy happiness, so you can feel bad from that. So that's the purpose of charity or dana, to get you to buy the right type of happiness, the happiness that has no suffering. Okay? Then also it will release you from working, because then you'll find that you don't need to work so much.
Yeah.
You don't need to spend so much money. Then you can then have more time for your practice. Eventually you can stop working. Like me, I did stop working. Once I saved enough money to practice for a year, I stopped working and concentrated on my practice. And my practice fortunately developed to the point where I can then become a full-time practitioner, becoming a monk. So once becoming a monk, I have no need for money anymore, because I'm supported by the lay Buddhists of the basic necessity of life. So this is what the purpose of charity, to free you from the vicious circle or cycle of earning money and spending money.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tanajan. May I ask that I thought about stop working. I'm wondering if this is my defilement. We run a school and we have. I feel like I'm taking care of a lot of stuff. I'm taking care of their taking care of their living as the head of the school. And I feel responsible for. I know I should maybe I should think about myself, but is this my defilement that I feel hard to let go of work because I feel responsible for my stuff? Like if I stay
Well,
in the school, they won't. Well, I guess they will find their own job anyway, right? Maybe.
that's right. If you think about it hard enough,
Yeah.
what happened when you die,
Right. Yeah.
or
So
when you go broke, when when the when the school become bankrupt, you
yeah,
cannot
right.
go on. So everybody has to go look for a new job.
So this my own department, Ajahn, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your attachment, your justification for your attachment.
My this is wrong thinking.
Right, it's delusional, because you still have to rely on money as your source of happiness.
Because I feel a lot happier when I take the 8 steps and meditating. So I thought seriously about letting go of the job and the school now. So I just want to need more of a assurance that this is the right thing.
Yes, the right thing is to practice meditation, following the teaching of the Buddha. Look at the Buddha, he gave up his princely life and became a monk. So everybody who wants to become enlightened, who wants to have liberation from dukkha, will have to take this path. So it's just whether you have the strength to let go of your attachment to what you have right now or not. If you don't, it means you have to focus more on your practice to have that strength. See, the more you advance in your practice, the stronger you will be to let go of your attachment to what you have right now. But if you don't progress, if you don't advance, you won't have the strength to cut off your attachment to what you have right now. It's like giving up a bad habit, like smoking or drinking. You just have to stop it. But you might have to find something to replace it. See, if you can find something to replace it, then it's easier. Like if you can meditate, for instance, then you can give up a lot of bad habits. But if you cannot, then you might replace one bad habit with a new bad habit. People stop smoking, and so they start vaping instead. Or they take chewing gum instead of smoking, and then become attached to chewing gum, something. So the best substitute for your bad habit is the practice of meditation. Because meditation is free from harm. It doesn't hurt you. It's only beneficial. And you can be addicted to the meditation and it won't cost you anything. It won't cause you any pain. But when you're addicted to other things, it causes you pain when you cannot have them. That's the problem with all of people. They're born addictive. They are addictive to the 5 sensual objects in various forms. Entertainment, music, dancing, drinking, going to bars, pubs, and so forth. These are all attachment to the 5 sensual objects. So the Buddha wants us to replace our attachment to these 5 sensual objects with meditation, with the happiness that arises from entering into jhana, the 4th jhana. Once you get the 4th jhana, then you can let go of your attachment of the 5 sensual objects very easily. So your goal now is to try to develop as much jhana as possible, and then you'll have the strength to be able to let go of your attachment to the 5 sensual objects. Okay?
Thank you.
Well, maybe we'll come back later if you have any other questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let me say hello to Gleb, Melbourne. Hi, Gleb from Australia, Melbourne.
Hello,
Gleb Aldrich. Gleb Aldrich.
Yes.
You inquired about coming to stay here, right? Did you get the answer okay?
No, I didn't inquire, but I was thinking about it.
I see.
Yeah.
In the last Q&A, I thought you sent in the question about coming to stay with me.
No, it wasn't. It was a question.
Okay.
It was a question about 5 precepts and 5 precepts not being perfect, and people going into 8 precepts to overcome the drinking part and these sort of things. So that's how I started. I just wanted to say thank you for your instructions. I just came back from a 2-week retreat with Luang Por Kalyano here in Melbourne, and it was very beneficial to have an attitude of stopping thinking with the parikamma. I would count my steps on the walking path, and if I lose my count, I would know what kind of a obstruction will come in, and I would just continue counting. And then that was very good, actually, very good. And just wanted to say that.
Okay, no question today?
I had a question in regards to as we progress in the practice, even though we don't have knowledges like jnanas, our intellectual part may start to think that we know things, such as we talk about karma and rebirth as if we know it, but we don't really know it. Because you really need to have those jnanas.
Yes, you have to see it. So right now we're just thinking about it. Thinking about it and seeing it is different. So when you practice, you will be eventually come to see them for yourself. All the things that the Buddha talked about. So right now we just have to keep on developing mindfulness. That's the key. That's the key to seeing things. mindfulness, and then it will lead you to jhana. Then from jhana, will lead you to wisdom. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Let me say hello to Kok Seng from Singapore. Hi, Kok
Yeah.
Seng.
Good evening, Ajahn. Yes, I'm from Singapore. Okay, I have two questions today, Ajahn. The first question is regarding the Buddhism concept of Kayana or spiritual friendship. It was recorded that there was a conversation between Lord Buddha and his disciple Ananda, in which Ananda declared that this is half of the holy life, Lord, admirable friendship, admirable companionship, admirable camaraderie. And the Buddha replies, don't say that, Ananda, don't say that. Admirable friendship, admirable companionship, admirable camaraderie is actually the whole of the holy life. When a monk has admirable people as friends, companions, and comrades, he can be expected to develop and pursue the noble eightfold path. My question is, in our present 21st century environment context, so how do we apply this to the lay person? This is my first question, Ajahn.
Well, Kalayana, what you call friendship,
Yes.
spiritual friendship, really refers to your spiritual teacher as your real friend, because your teacher is the one who knows about the spiritual path. So anybody, whether he's a monk or a lay person, if he can lead you on a spiritual path, especially the Noble Eightfold Path, then he is your good friend, your good spiritual friend. That's what it means.
Okay. So that means this person, it has to be someone who can guide us, who has higher knowledge.
Yes, who can teach you about the path. And if you have any questions, we'll be able to help you clear the question for you. Then that person is considered to be a good friend, a good spiritual friend.
Okay.
So for us, the Buddha is our first good spiritual friend, and then his noble disciple are the second ones. So if we could not find the Buddha or the noble disciple, then we have to depend on the Dhamma teaching as our spiritual friend.
Ajahn, my second question is this: in the 8 precepts, there's this precept to abstain from entertainment, and Ajahn has also mentioned that we should try and refrain from watching TVs, movies, shopping, and so on. My own understanding of watching movies or listening to songs is that sometimes during meditation, some of these songs or some of the movie scenes would appear in our during our meditation, and somewhat I find it a distraction. I find it very difficult to so-called get the song out of the mind during meditation. So
Yes.
is this the reason why the Buddha laid down this precept?
Yes, they can become hindrances in your practice because your mind still keeps thinking about them instead of focusing on your meditation object. In order to calm the mind still keeps thinking about the movies you saw or the music you heard. We call this mental residue. Sanya, it still remains in your memory. So you want to try not to load your memory with these things. Okay.
But programs like, let's say, news, documentaries.
Also the same, except on Buddhist teaching. Otherwise, they can still become hindrances to your mind, not assisting your mind in your practice. Because the news can cause your mind to become disturbed.
Oh, but sometimes we need to be updated on what is happening around the world and so forth.
It depends on why do you want to be updated for?
Oh, so that we know what is happening around the world.
What for? What you have to ask yourself, what for? Is there any purpose for knowing this thing? If you're the president of Malaysia or Singapore, you might have to be updated. But if you're just an ordinary person, what do you want to know? What can you do when you know about this information?
Ajahn, I think in this present context, I think it's important that we are in a globalized world. We have to be connected, so we have to know what is happening around the world and so forth.
Well, it depends on your position. If you think you need to know, then it's okay, But if you're a monk like me, I don't need to know anything about the world, because I know they are impermanent. That's all I know about them. They rise and cease. Everything eventually come to an end. So it doesn't matter. Because it can become distraction. See, the problem is you want to pull your mind away from everything, so that your mind can then become calm, can enter into jhana. If your mind still have still thinking about this thing, this information, then your mind cannot enter into jhana.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's all, Ajahn. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Somebody's turn on the microphone with some background in the back. Okay. Let me say hello to Soling. Hi, Soling from Malaysia. Oh no, from London. I'm sorry, forgot.
Hello, Ajahn. We have no question today. Thank you. Just listening.
Okay, then. B, it's your turn from Bangkok. Hi, B.
Hi, Ajahn. How are you, Kap?
Good. And you?
I am good, thank you. I'm working from home until further notice.
Yes. Yeah. You got any problem? Any question?
I have two questions, Ajahn. The first question is regarding the Noble Eightfold Path. The last three points, right effort, mindfulness, and concentration. I can't really distinguish between the three. Could you please elaborate on the difference and what I need to do to be able to satisfy these 3 points?
Okay, right effort means to exert yourself in the practice of mindfulness and samadhi. Then you're doing right exertion, right effort. Don't exert on working for more money, for higher pay, for higher position in your work. Then this is wrong effort. Okay, the right effort is to develop spiritual strength, spiritual power, in order to be able to defeat your defilement, get rid of your defilement. So you need mindfulness, sati, and samadhi, concentration, or jhana. Samadhi really means jhana. So your goal is to develop mindfulness, because without mindfulness you cannot enter into jhana to get samadhi. Because you need samadhi before you can use the noble truth to get rid of your cravings, your defilement. So anytime you practice meditation, you're exerting right effort. Anytime you're doing walking meditation or sitting meditation, you're doing the right effort. You want to develop mindfulness first, because without mindfulness you cannot make the mind become concentrated to enter into jhana. And once you have jhana, then you want to develop wisdom by contemplating on the nature of life, that everything in this world is impermanent, and they are all natural phenomena or processes. in which you cannot really interfere. If you try to interfere, it will cause you stress and anxiety and worry. If you don't want to have any stress, anxiety, or worry, you just leave them alone. Then you'll be free from stress, free from suffering. Then this is called enlightenment. Okay?
So it comes in steps. So right effort will lead to right mindfulness, and right mindfulness will lead to right concentration.
Right. You need right effort to develop mindfulness. Once you get mindfulness, then you can have right concentration, which is the fourth jhana. Once you have the fourth jhana, then you can develop the right view or right understanding again, that everything in this world is anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Including our own bodies, which
everything,
is mother.
Everything that the mind comes involved with. First your body, then other people's body, then your possessions, then everything, whatever you come into involvement with, they are anicca, dukkha, anatta. So you don't want to be involved with anything. If you have jhana, you can remain aloof, remain alone, not involved with anybody or anything. Because jhana gives you better happiness than the happiness you get from involvement with other people or things.
It's long-lasting happiness, not temporary happiness.
Yes, and no permanent happiness, long-lasting.
Yeah. So actually that leads to the second question, Thanajan. I see you mentioned the fourth jhana. So I'm just wondering, is it possible for me to develop insight, vipassana, even if I'm achieving lower jhanas, maybe first, second, or third, is it possible, or must I reach the fourth jhana, then I can develop insight?
Well, you can develop right now. It's simple. Just know that everything anicca, dukkha, anatta. You know that, right? We all know that. But can we let go of our attachment to them? That's the problem. See, if the mind doesn't have equanimity, which you get from the fourth jhana, you cannot let go of all these things. You still want to cling to them. Can you let go of your body? You know your body is gonna get old, get sick, and die, right?
Yes.
But you can still not refuse your defilement, your craving of wanting your body to remain young, to be healthy, and to live forever, right?
Yes, most of the time. It's only a split second. Maybe if I come out of samadhi, maybe I can think briefly, yeah, maybe I can let go. But after a while, it's not possible anymore because the defilements come back, and then
That's
it's
because
very difficult.
when you come out of samadhi, you have equanimity with you, but very briefly. After a while, that equanimity will disappear. That's why you have to go back into meditation again and again. Come out and then go back in, come out and go back in to lengthen your equanimity to the point where you can then be able to let go of your attachment to everything.
Okay, yes.
See, we have vipassana, we all know anicca, dukkha, anatta, we know the Four Noble Truths, but we just cannot do what the Four Noble Truths or anicca, dukkha, anatta tell us to do. That is to let go. We still cling, we still attach, we still have craving for things. That's what you have to, because you don't have the strength to cut off. You don't have equanimity. If you have equanimity, then you can cut off everything. You can just remain alone and doesn't feel lacking in anything. Equanimity makes you feel content, fulfilled all the time. So you don't need anything. Once you don't need anything, then you can let go of everything that you become attached to. Okay?
Yes, that's very clear. Thank you. Thank you very much, Thanachan.
So do right effort, do right mindfulness and right samadhi. Then you can then apply the vipassana that you already know. Okay.
Yes, I will. Thank you very much, Thanachan. And Murahana Sadhu.
All right. Hi, Joseph Chi from Malaysia. Am I right? From Malaysia.
Hello, Ajahn. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thank you. Ajahn, I have an abstract question, which may not be very important, but it's just a question. You mind if I ask?
Sure. I might not be able to answer though.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. I was just wondering, because nowadays there are quite a lot of near-death experience testimonies from people who had so-called left their bodies during an operation where their heart stopped for a while, maybe a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. And they describe their experiences like they look down from the ceiling and they can see their body. And they go through a tunnel and they feel very peaceful, happy, and full of love. Okay. I was just wondering, and these people come back into their bodies again, and they come out of the coma, and they live normal lives, but they have had that experience. So I was just wondering whether their experience is very similar to the jhanic experiences of highly accomplished meditators.
No, I think it's more like dreaming, like when you go to sleep and you dream. Except that maybe the experience is more profound because your mind might be under quite a heavy stress, So it might force your mind to be a lot more mindful than normally. So because in fact, the mind is never in the body in the first place, but the mind gather things from the body, gather the 5 sensual objects from the body. So it seems like the mind is inside the body, but actually the mind just being connected by the stream of consciousness of the mind, the 5 consciousness of vijnana. So whenever the mind disconnect, then the mind will know that it is apart from the body. So when people have this experience, traumatic experiences, and they might experience something like this, it just means the mind might have temporarily disconnected from the body, but not permanently. Yeah. We disconnect every night when we go to sleep. But the difference is that we don't have mindfulness, so we don't have strong mindfulness to be able to see what's going on. We like going to falling asleep, and unless we have some strong dreams, then it might remain after we awake. But if there are weak dreams, when we tend to forget them as soon as we get up, because we start to receiving information from the body again. See, we start to receive the 5 sensual objects from the body. But when we sleep, we stop receiving the 5 sensual objects from the body. So the mind keep creating its own 5 sensual objects through sankhara and sanya.
So we cannot equate the brain with the mind, right?
No, the brain is part of the body. the brain has function to do with the working of the body. Why the mind is the one who knows, who use the body to collect information for it, to enjoy or to suffer, meaning the five sensual objects. That's what the mind keep craving for. That's keeping the mind to take rebirth again and again. It's because of this craving for these five sensual objects. I mean, five sensual objects. But for the one who can stop this craving for the sensual objects, then the mind will not then take up any physical birth anymore, like the anagami. And anagami has completely detached, get rid of the attachment cravings for the sensual objects completely, but it still become attached to the jhana instead. So it takes birth in the Brahma world until it has stopped its attachment to the jhana, then it enters into nibbana. Okay, so I answered that the experiences that people experience, they are like dreams, or maybe they can see that the mind and the body is not the same. The mind disconnect from the body briefly, and then the mind starts to see the body from a different perspective. That's it. But it doesn't mean anything because all the defilements are still within inside the mind. And as when the mind returns to reconnect with the body, and then it uses the defilement to go gather things that it wants again.
That's why we have experiences of unhappiness and all that, and feeling of heaviness because we are attached to the body.
Attached to the body, yes. We want the body to be well, healthy, strong, but that's against the nature of the body.
So being attached to the five senses and the khandhas is actually causing the mind to be heavy.
Yes, heavy-hearted, heavy.
Yeah. Chichai.
Yeah. When you have let go of your attachment, then you experience lightness in the mind. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Let me say hello to Philip from Malaysia also, from Kuala Lumpur. Hi, Philip.
Good evening.
Where's your wife? She's not here today.
Oh, she's in another room because I am self-quarantining myself. Yesterday, I came in contact with a person which has COVID. Suspected COVID in my office. So,
I see.
But the test came back negative. But I'm still having some precaution.
Okay. Good. So you live like a monk now for 14 days.
Yes.
Keeping the 8 precepts.
Yeah, it's actually very nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Good.
actually very nice. Yeah.
This is an excuse you can give to your wife, and then you don't have to sleep with her.
Yes. I have a question. With regards to meditation. I mean, since I'm locked up in my room right now, I have actually more time and nobody disturbing me. During my meditation practice, when the mind goes into quite a calm stage, I told you at many times, words don't mean anything, feeling don't mean anything, and things like that. Ever so often, right? A thought will just pop up in the mind, and the thought is like, where's the self? Who is suffering? Where is the permanentness? I'll just ignore it and I'll go back to my meditation object. But even after I come out from my meditation, right, this thought will linger throughout the whole day, or even half the day, or until the evening, and the whole day I'll just be looking for where is the self in me. Why am I suffering? This whole thing will just keep on questioning even after meditation. What do I do when I encounter this throughout the day?
Well, you use the Buddha's teaching to answer this question. See? The Buddha says suffering is caused by your cravings, by your defilement. So when you have suffering, you look for the cause of suffering in your mind. Then you'll find that it's probably one of the three cravings. Either cravings for sensual pleasures, craving for beings, or craving for not being. And as far as who is the self or what is the self, the Buddha said the self is just a delusion. It's not real. There's no self. It's just being concocted by the sankhara, your thoughts, your thinking, and your memory of a self. Keep reinforcing in your mind that there is a self. The one who thinks is the self. See? The one who feels is the self. Who feel, who think. See? But really there is no one who feel or who think. They're just thinking and they're just feeling. They are natural or mental phenomena. So you have to use the Buddha's and then apply it to what and see it inside yourself, see inside your mind. Then you'll see that they're just like that. They just keep popping up. Rise and cease, rise and cease. They keep come and go.
So Tan Ajahn, when this question starts to linger the whole day, I mean, it is can I use it as a meditation object and look at my thoughts, look at my feelings as it's not permanent, investigate it. Is it the right way to do it, or is it like daydreaming in this method?
Well, it depends on how you use it. See, if you know how to use it properly, then it can become vipassana, wisdom, by merely seeing that everything doesn't belong to you, since there is no self. Yeah. See, whatever belongs to you is just a temporary thing, Sooner or later, you and the things that you think belong to you will eventually have to separate. So you can use that to teach your mind that to see that everything doesn't belong to you, since there is no self. And the self comes from the mind, created by the thoughts inside the mind itself. And the mind eventually will be separated from everything, from the body and everything that the body, that comes through the body. So this way will then let go of your attachment and your cravings for things. You only have things just enough for your existence. Anything more than that will be more problematic than useful to you, to the mind.
So the difference, what's the difference between learning or meditating via the vipassana and also letting go of thoughts? Is letting go of thoughts, when the Buddha is mentioning letting go of thoughts, is letting go of useless thoughts, or in this case, when I look at things which are impermanent, like for example, I know that when my thoughts arises, it is impermanent, it goes away. My feelings comes out, it's impermanent, it goes away, and it ceases, and then it rises again, and and there is no self in this whole equation here. Are those thoughts also to be abandoned?
Well, see, it depends on where you are. If you're still in the stage where you rely on your thoughts, then you have to use thoughts, but you have to use them wisely. You want to use them in a way that will stop suffering and create happiness for the mind. Okay. You have to stop the thoughts if you want to have spiritual happiness. That's when you have to calm your mind to enter into jhana. And you have to stop your thoughts completely by using the method of mindfulness concentration of your breath or on the parikarma, for instance. Then this one way of dealing with your thought is stopping your thoughts in order to keep your mind calm, peaceful, and happy. But after you come out, then your thoughts start coming back again. Then you have to make sure that your thoughts don't go in the way of the defilements, don't go in the way of cravings, of the three cravings. So this is what you have to do when you still have to deal with your thoughts. And eventually, once you have stopped all the three cravings that being used by your thoughts, then you can then leave the thoughts alone. You only use it when you want to, like the Buddha. He only uses the thought when he wants to give a Dhamma talk. If he doesn't have to give a Dhamma talk or talk to anybody, he just stops the thought. And just to be merely knowing. That's eventually when you eventually have finally reach your liberation from suffering, then you don't need to use your thoughts. Before that, you still need to use your thought in a way that will then stop you from being attached, being or having cravings for things. So you have to force your thought to think of anicca, dukkha, anatta, until you can then get rid of your three cravings. Once you finish that, then you have no use for your thoughts anymore. So you don't need to think except for the basic things like eating, looking after your body. But otherwise, there's nothing you want from this world. Let's put it that way. And if you happen to become a teacher, then you use your thought to give Dhamma talks. But otherwise, when you're alone, you have nothing to do. You just don't have to think. You just merely know what you're doing. Know you're walking. Know you're sitting. Know you're eating. Know you whatever you do. But you don't have to think about Jack, Jill, and John, or whoever, about the politics of this world, what's going on, and so forth. Okay? Is that clear enough?
Yes.
You?
Yes.
All right.
Very clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me say hello to Kyuyen Dong. Hi, Kyuyen Dong from London, I believe. I cannot hear you. You have to speak louder or closer.
Right, I'll get closer.
Oh yeah, you have to come closer because your voice is very soft.
Right. Is it better now?
Yeah, it can be better if you can speak louder still.
Yes.
Okay.
Normally
okay.
I speak very loud, so I try to soften it. I have a few questions today.
Please go ahead.
The first question is when you in the contemplation of 33 parts of the body, in the Pali version it says udariyang, and in the translation it's stomach, but in the Pali dictionary it says undigested food in the stomach. So when you contemplate, do you do like the stomach itself or the food itself?
Well, I think it refers to the food, the digested and undigested food. In Thai, we call new food and old food. We translate it as new food and old food.
So the karisang is the old food.
Yeah, the food you eat today is new food. The food you eat yesterday or 2 days before is old food. Okay.
Yes.
Simple.
makes more sense. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
The next one is the everything has three, like three triple, not dual. So I feel that it's the Majjhima is the one that we aim for in everything.
That's right. The middle path. The middle path.
Yes. So where is the Upekha? I feel that Upekha, is it the vertical of everything, or what is it? What's the difference between the middle of everything and the Upekha?
Well, Ubekha is, I'm not sure. The word Ubekha has so many different meanings. Okay. So the real meaning of Ubekha is the mind is becoming neutral, has no love, hate, fear, or delusion. That's the real Ubekha. But sometimes they apply this to feeling, the neutral feelings also, as Ubekha feelings. It should really be not feeling good or not feeling bad. That's the neutral feeling. Not good, not bad, then it's in the middle or between good and bad feeling. Okay.
And so Upekha can be like a separate category by strictly speaking. It should be a separate category.
Yeah,
not
it's
just too much of everything.
Yeah, I think the real definition of Ubekha is the one thing when you enter into the fourth jhana, then that's the Ubekha in there. That's when the mind has become neutral from emotion. No love, hate, fear, or delusion.
And the third question I have is, like a few Buddhists, they practice buying animals every day in the market and free them. I think they want to develop their metta that way. Is it? I don't find it like I cannot reason it. What should we?
Why you free animal? Well, sometimes you think of yourself as being an animal and about to be slaughtered, and then somebody come and free you from slaughter by buying your life for you, so you can continue on living. See, that's what we should look at that way. Then we can then appreciate why we want to help other beings by saving them from being slaughtered, like the fish in the market, or even the cows and the pigs in the slaughterhouse. If you can sacrifice your money and buy the cow and the pig before they are being slaughtered, then when you get them, then you release them into the wild or wherever they can exist freely and safely. And it makes you feel good, makes you feel happy that you have done something good for the animal. So this is one way of making merit or doing charity to make you feel happy, rather than spending money on new bags or new pair of shoes. There's a different feeling of that. You might feel happy for briefly when you buy a new pair of shoes or a new bag, but if you spend money by freeing some animal from being slaughtered, this feeling is much better. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Is that all for the question you have today?
Yes, that's it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Belinda, you're next. Belinda from Singapore.
Hello, Ajahn.
Hello to you. How are you?
Not progressing. Sleepy. Tomorrow is the Uposatha day.
Yeah.
Try to
You
keep
have
up.
to keep being mindful in order to progress. The key to your practice is mindfulness. So So try to be mindful in every second of your waking hours with whatever you do or with a mantra to stop your mind from floating around, thinking aimlessly, uselessly. All right?
Thank you, Ajahn.
No question today?
Mm.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Forrest Tom from Massachusetts. Hi, Forrest.
Hi, good morning, Tana John. How are you? Or good evening. How are you?
Good.
I have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you today. So I'm noticing that I'm trying to stay in the present moment, and my mind always wants to go somewhere else. So I'm trying to force it, but I wonder if you have any advice to stopping the desire to always be somewhere else.
Well, it's the habit of the mind to not to stay in the present. It likes to wandering around, thinking of the past, thinking of the future, thinking about this and thinking about that all the time. And that's why the mind isn't happy, because true happiness comes from a still mind. See? So our goal is to still the mind, still the thoughts, by using mindfulness as the method, as the means. So it's like a tug of war between two sides. One wants to think, and then the other wants to stop it from thinking. So which side wins, then that takes the trophy. If you can stop the thought, then you take the peace and happiness of mind as the trophy. If you cannot stop your thought, then you get restlessness, stress, and anxiety as the result of the thought winning. So this is what you have to do. It's a struggle between two parties.
Okay. And then sometimes it feels like I'm not thinking, but I still have this feeling that the present moment is not good enough. But is that still thinking?
Yeah, you cannot avoid thinking. Only time you can stop thinking truly is when you enter into jhana. But the rest of the time you're thinking, sometimes obviously and sometimes subtly. When you're thinking or remembering things. If you don't think, you remember things.
Okay.
So don't worry about it. So it means that once you realize that you still think, then if you want to stop, then you have to come back to the mantra or come back to what you do.
Okay.
You need to have something to stop it from thinking.
And then my next question is that I've been reflecting more on idle chatter, and I'm trying to understand why idle chatter is considered unwholesome. And it seems to me pretty clear if the other person doesn't want to talk and I'm doing idle chatter, then that's harming them. But if the other person wants to do idle chatter, then I don't feel like I understand why it would be unwholesome.
It will be unwholesome for you because you keep your mind thinking. See? You have to use your thinking to do the idle chatting.
Okay.
So instead of stop idle chatting and then meditate, you cannot meditate because you have to engage in idle chatting with other people. So it's a hindrance to the practice of meditation. If you want to practice meditation, then you want to avoid all kinds of chatting. Only chat only when you really have to.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Hello, Katrina from Noosa, Australia. Hi.
Hi, John.
How are you? Good?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, how are you?
Okay. You have any question today?
No, just thinking about how I'm very attached to like wanting to be someone in the world, like wanting to achieve things in the world, and I'm just so attached to like
That's
Yeah,
because you don't have the wisdom to see that all the things in the world are illusions. See, they are not real.
I know,
Whatever.
I know intellectually that it's delusion, but I'm just still so attached.
That's because you don't have happiness within yourself. So you need to have happiness from these things. That's why you need to meditate more to get the happiness inside yourself. The more happiness you have, then the less you become attached to things outside of yourself. Because you know things outside of yourself are just temporary. They don't last forever. But the happiness you can develop inside yourself will be with you all the time. So this is what you have to do, is do more meditation and do less of other things if you can.
Okay, how much like?
How much you? Well, if possible, all the time. But when you starting right now, you just have to do as much as you can, whenever you can, and then you take it from there. Then you start to develop more and more, and do more and more eventually. And eventually, you want to do all the time meditation. Then you become then you can be ordained or live like a monk or a nun, you know.
I'm really attached to listening to Dhamma talks as well.
That's good though. That's good attachment. Listening to Dhamma talk is good attachment because it's beneficial for your mind. Doesn't hurt your mind.
I think I should try to just sit in silence more though.
Well, you need both. You need the Dhamma talk to guide you to sit properly and to move forward from sitting. Because there are other things that you need to develop besides just meditation. You need to have the right understanding. You need to develop right understanding. So by listening to Dhamma talk will give you a lot of right understanding.
So should I just do it as much as I want?
You do both, but interchangeably. Yeah. From time when you want to be still, then you don't want to listen to Dhamma talk. But when you don't want to sit, then listen to Dhamma talk rather than listen to the politics, to the news, or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
All right. Nice to see you.
Nice to
Hope
see you
you're
too.
well.
Thank you. I am, me too.
Okay. Hi, Daniel. You're next from Germany, I think, from Berlin. You're from Berlin,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I'm from Berlin. Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome.
Yep. Right now, I have two things, I guess. The first thing is the transfer of merit. How does it work? Because I had some experiences with it. They were pretty strange. Sometimes always pretty close to a Buddhist holiday. Something wakes me up at night and there's nobody in the room, of course, but I can feel something is shaking me and I can feel some tingling on the skin. Feels like a wet towel wrapped around the skin, and like the air is electrically charged. And sometimes I see some lights bobbing around, and then I thought, yeah, maybe somebody wants merit. And then I thought, okay, what could I share? What could I do? Well, I did this, I did that. And then I gave something to a monk. That was the thought, that I donated something. And as soon as I thought that, the signal that I was receiving was maybe 10 times stronger, 50 times stronger. Also, then suddenly I started hearing sounds. I could not discern what that was. There was no language in that. It was just some crackling. And then I shared this merit. And then I thought, okay, now please let me sleep. And then it stopped and I could sleep. Happens once in a while, but this occasion was the strongest one. And I also try to share merit after meditation, just with the intention that I imagine there is something I did now and I want to share it, that I try to give it away, like I curb the self that attaches to the merit. I give it away, and I think that is the right intention to share the merit. Is that correct?
Well, the theory behind sharing merit is that sometimes we have spiritual beings who are in need of merit, of good feelings, and they cannot produce it for themselves, so they have to come and beg from somebody else. So when you have some spiritual beings come knocking at your door and ask for merit, then you share it with them if you have them. But sometimes the thing that you feel or you see mentally might not be spiritual beings. It might be something else altogether.
Yeah, I got pretty confident in that because it correlated with the amount of merit that is inherent in the things that I did. For example, that I thought about, okay, I did this with my mother, that I did something for her, that I gave something to somebody, and then as soon as I thought, maybe I gave something to what I consider an arahant, then the signal exploded basically, and I also saw that my girlfriend who was sleeping next to me also felt the electricity in the air. And sometimes we wake up together at night and we feel like, oh, something is here again. That is giving me some scientific basis for this whole idea, actually. And then I just use my intention to share that. So I try to discern if I'm going crazy or not, or if the things that I see or that I hear, that how I interpret them.
Because what you interpret might not be true, see. So
Yeah.
the best way the Buddha says is to treat them as a natural phenomena that come and go, rise and cease, and not under your control, meaning you see them as anicca anatta and leave them alone. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to deal with them. They come and go by themselves, of themselves.
And the next thing is that I think my practice is advancing. I got inspired by a talk of Ajahn Chah. By the way, everybody who's listening on Spotify, you can find excellent talks from him, like over 50 in high quality audio, read out by an American or English speaking monk. It's called The Collected Teachings of Ajahn Chah. And I listened to that, and there are very good instructions. And in one instruction, he said, when there's a noise disturbing you, it's actually, you should see it like it's you who's disturbing the noise. And I incorporated this into my practice. And then I applied it to everything else also. Every sensation, everything that can be known can be seen like that I disturb this phenomenon. And every time this happens in the meditation, the calm gets stronger. And after a while, it becomes so calm that there's nothing left, actually. That I can see that every time there's a self-produced, when there's contact with these sensations, it's like in my whole life somebody threw dirt at me, but this time I just won't catch it. You raise your hands and say, this is not of my concern. And at a certain point in the meditation, it starts to happen by itself. Like there's the wisdom is jumping onto these things and destroying them by itself. And it happens really fast at some point. At first I have to kick-started like a motor, but then after a while it happens by itself and really fast, and then there's just calm.
Yes, I look at them all as distraction. If you want to meditate for calm and emptiness, then you should disregard them, ignore them. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Is that all for now?
That's it, yeah.
Okay. Let me go to Alvin. Hi, Alvin from Malaysia, from Kuala Lumpur. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Ajahn. How are you, Tanajan?
Fine. Do you have any question today?
Yeah, Tanajan. It's just like when we talk about Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, that is actually equivalent to the whole Noble Eightfold Path, right?
That's right. Sila is Samma Kammanto, Samma Vaca, Samma Achiyo.
Right. So when you, so the Sila will be the right, the first few.
Right action, right speech, and right livelihood.
Right livelihood. Okay. Tanajan, when you talk about right livelihood, I think this is a very basic question, but it always, I keep on thinking about this. When one owns a restaurant, right, and does it consider as a wrong livelihood, because you would probably have to order all these fresh living beings from the wholesaler directly, and then basically you're instructing them to kill, right?
Well, you can open a vegetarian restaurant.
Yeah, but for all these things, for the normal restaurants, it's not right, right?
Not right livelihood, no.
That would be considered as killing as well, right?
Well, unless you go and buy it fresh from the market. Don't order it ahead of time. Just go to the market, and if you see anything that you can buy, dead fish, dead chicken, then it's okay. But if you tell the merchant you want 10 kilos of fish tomorrow, then you are ordering them to kill for you. Then you are also breaking the precept.
Okay, and Tan Ajahn, as a Buddhist who trying to observe the precepts, when I go to a restaurant and I'm suspicious that the fish that I'm eating is actually live fish, I should abstain from eating, right?
Go to a different restaurant. It's like when you're suspicious that this restaurant might have some virus or something, then you don't want to go eat in that restaurant, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
yeah, but sometimes when you get invited to a place and then you don't know. I mean, your friends invite you, then you should abstain from consuming things like this. I presume.
Well, if they order, then it's not your problem. See, you don't order the food yourself, then it's okay. If your friend invites you, then usually he will order the food for you.
Right. Okay. But I should abstain from eating, right? Because I know that I know that is life is a fresh fish.
No, but you didn't have anything to do with killing that fish. Somebody else is doing it.
I see. Okay.
You can eat the dead fish on the table, but you cannot order that fish to be killed by you for you. That's all.
Okay. Thanks, Tanaji.
Is that all today?
Yeah, that's all. Thanks.
Okay. William, you are in the dark. Do you want to speak? I don't think so, huh? Well, let me go to Jason Ong then. Hi, Jason. Please.
Good evening, Tanajan, and Happy New Year, Tanajan.
Thank you. You're from Malaysia?
Yes, from Penang.
Okay.
And I have no question tonight. Thank you very much. Really benefited a lot from your Dhamma talks and Q&A. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
William? You're in the dark. You want to turn on your video or something? Okay. Hi, how are you? Where are you from?
From England, Bante.
Okay. Can I help you?
I lost my sila, Bante.
That's normal. No one is perfect. It takes
I,
time to be. You have to be a sotapanna before you can become a fully perfect practitioner of sila. Otherwise, you will fall from time to time. So just try to pick up the pieces and continue on.
Yeah. I'm very worried about rebirth, Bante.
Well, just try to continue on practicing, keeping the precept, practicing mindfulness and samadhi and wisdom. Then you'll stop rebirth. You cannot stop rebirth by just worrying about it.
Yes, Bante.
Just keep practicing. Takes time. Takes time to advance in your practice.
Yes, Bante.
Okay. Anything else?
This is my main concern, Bante.
Okay. It's already past. What you have broken is already past. What you should do is try to tell yourself not to do it again. And if you want to make it more decisive, then you have to punish yourself. Maybe it's punish something, like stop doing something that you like to do as a punishment that you have broken your precept. And then maybe the next time, then you don't want to break the precept that way because it costs you something. Or give money to charity every time you break the precept. Then give some money to charity as a form of punishment. All right.
Are we allowed to write to you, Bante?
Pardon me?
Are we allowed to write to you?
To write?
To you.
To me? You can write to my assistant and they can then forward the message to me.
Yes, Bante.
We have this email called assistant.ajahn@gmail.com.
Thanks very much, Bante.
All right. Okay. Next, Edwin Tan. How are you? From Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
You're from Singapore, right?
Yes, Ajahn. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So I've been following your teaching of watching the food in my mouth and my stomach when I eat. So far, that has been helping. I feel lesser craving, and that helps me to feel the food and my body as part of the herb. So when I eat, I try to be mindful, not just mindful movements, but trying to see the body as trying very hard to see what my body is made up of, even though I can't see it yet. Trying to remain concentrated when I'm eating.
Your body is actually built from the food that you eat. You are what you eat. Right? And the food comes from the four elements, right? From the earth element, the water element, the wind element, and the fire element. So your body is actually a composition of the four elements. Okay, your question.
Yes. So Ajahn, I was reading the Satipatthana Sutta, and at the end it mentions mindfulness of Dhammas. Can Ajahn explain what it means to be mindful of Dhammas? What does it refer to?
To find out whether you have this Dhamma inside yourself or not. For instance, do you have the Eightfold Path, Noble Eightfold Path? Do you see the four what you call four noble truths? Do you see the anicca, dukkha, anatta? These are all being mindful of the Dhamma. These are the Dhamma that you have to know, to get to know, because you need them to become enlightened. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much, Ajahn.
Right.
That's all I have today.
Okay. Hi, Phoebe. You're still sleepy.
Hello, Tanajan. Yeah, I do have a question today, and it's about telling the truth. And so, if I'm in a situation where I feel like very afraid of or resistant to telling the truth or being truthful because I'm afraid it might lead to displeasure from another person, or I might lose something, or there's agitation, any kind of agitation regarding facing something, facts or something like that. What's the way to counteract that?
You just
Or
have
I guess,
to
yeah.
you have to weigh the option between lying and not lying, and losing and not losing something and not losing something. See? If you can maintain truthfulness, you are maintaining something valuable inside yourself, your credibility and your sense of what you call stability. You know, if you're truthful, you feel more confidence in yourself than when you are lying. And if you are being truthful and you lose something, what you lose you can always find. You can find other people to be your friend. There are many people besides these people that you lose. So if you have to make a decision of which one should you lose, then you should lose other things and keep the precept, because the precept will protect your mind from ever taking birth in the lower realm of existence, and also prevent you from being morally corrupt.
Okay, so just choosing to stay silent is not good because you're still lying.
No, if you don't say anything, you're not lying. If they take it for lying, that's up to them. But you're not saying anything. How can you be lying when you're not saying anything?
Okay.
Right? Just keep quiet when you cannot say the truth. That's all. Or tell the person, I cannot answer this question. I'm sorry. And just that's it. They like it or not, it's up to them. If they don't like it and they don't want to deal with you anymore, okay, that's fine. There's lots of other people you can deal with. Okay. Hello, Suji, or Sugi. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name.
Sugi Ajahn.
Sugi.
Yes.
Okay. From Malaysia.
From Indonesia, Ajahn.
From Indonesia. Yes. Can I help you?
Yes. Happy New Year, Ajahn.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you, Ajahn. I would like to ask about when I'm doing the self-sitting meditation, while reciting the Buddha, is it okay breathe in Buddha, breathe out Buddha? Because I find it very difficult. Breathe in Buddha, breathe out Do. And I find it easier for me to concentrate and focus and be at ease when I breathe in Buddha, breathe out Buddha. Is that okay?
Yes, okay, you can use that. Or you can disregard Buddha altogether if you like. Just watch the breath.
Okay.
Breathing in, breathing out. See, you can just watch the breath and forget about Buddha altogether. Or you can use Buddha and forget about the breath also. So there are actually three methods here. The using Buddha alone, using the breath alone, or using them both combined. So whichever method you find useful, productive for you, then you use that method. Okay?
And sometimes I experience that my consciousness is unstable. So what should I do, Ajahn?
Use the mantra to stabilize it. When you feel like,
reciting the
yeah, just keep chanting, reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Then your mind will become stable, become calm and stable like a rock. Okay?
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Is that all?
Yes, Ajahn.
Okay. Kek Senyo, Kek Yenso from Penang, how are you?
Hi, Ajahn. I'm fine. Thank you, Ajahn. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Anything today?
No question, but I just want to thank Sister Jacqueline for sending the Facebook. Let me know the Puhu School YSSAD. Yeah.
I see. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's all. Yeah.
Okay. ST, how are you? You're from Singapore, right?
Yes. Hi. Happy New Year, Ajahn.
Thank you.
Yep.
Happy New Year to you.
Enjoying. No questions at the moment.
Okay. Fine. Then let me say hello to Jessica. Hi, Jess. How are you?
Hello, Ajahn. I'm good, thank you.
Well, go ahead. You have to unmute your microphone again. Cannot hear you. Have you fell off the grid? Oh, here you are. You have to unmute your microphone. Oh, they asked to unmute.
Unmute. Okay, is that okay now?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay.
Hello, hello, Ajahn. It's good seeing you today, this evening. So, so I experienced something today. About a few months back, I was listening to a Dhamma talk of one of my teachers. He spoke about the death of his brother who had cancer. And, you know, he taught us that, you know, it was part of life. And his brother is actually a very good person. And once he died, they buried him the next day. There was no big ceremony or anything. And after they burnt the body, he became soil for the Buddha Bodhi tree. So I thought about my own death. I also want the same. So, and today, so I thought about that today. While I was walking through the park, I saw how beautiful the trees are, the animals, the birds. I was just, you know, looking out of my surroundings. Even though with all the COVID situation going on, I was looking out of the positive side of life. So I was just looking at the beautiful grass, and I was thinking about the soil, and I was thinking I would be very good soil for these grass and for the birds to step on or do their business or whatever. And when I was thinking that it is no longer me or us, it's just soil. There's no I in the soil. There's no longer me in the soil. The soil does not know it was an I. Does that mean I've gained wisdom, Ajahn? There is no more attachment to my body, or?
It's just partially wisdom. You have to prove it that you have actually this attached from your body. Meaning you must not be feeling have any reaction to whatever happens to your body. You have to find that out when you go to the doctor. You get sick, see how you feel like, how your mind feel. If your mind feel normal, not affected by the sickness of the body, then you have let go of your body. But you still worry about your body, whether it's gonna get well or not, and you cannot go to sleep worrying about it, then you haven't yet let go of your body.
Do we have to become sick and ill in order to let it test us if we are still attached to our body, or is there another way that we can find out that we are no longer attached to the word us, me, I?
Well, there might be several ways, you know. like go to a place where you feel afraid, whether you still feel afraid or not. Like go and meditate in a cemetery at night by yourself.
Okay. Please send me a list. Which one?
No, you have to find out for yourself. Whatever you're afraid of, that means that's the test you have to take to find out whether you have actually let go of your body or not.
Okay. Okay, Tanajan.
If you're afraid of sickness, then if you're afraid of pain, then you have to sit for a long time under painful, and let the body develop pain, and then let the pain disappear by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay,
this is
Tanajan.
because this is what you still reacted to. See,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to react to anything that happens to your body.
Okay.
Or you can try fasting for a few days. Leave the body alone. Don't feed it for a few days. You're not feeding yourself. You're feeding the body. So why should you worry about the body if you have actually let go of the body?
The Tanajan, the intake of water, liquid is okay, correct?
Yes, you have to maintain life. You have to breathe and you have to take water, but you don't have to eat.
Don't have to eat. Okay.
The Buddha didn't eat for 49 days, I think, when he was trying to become enlightened.
Okay. Okay. If I have to go into quarantine, I will try it. I will try it day by day, Tanajan, for 14 days. But right now I'm COVID free, so I'm still also working. So I don't think that's possible right now in my situation. But that's a very good tip. Thank you.
Yeah. See, if you think of your body as soil, you should think it all the time, not just merely when you not just when you think and relate to us, and the rest of the time you still think of yourself as Jessica, as somebody with this face and this body. You have to think of it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. That you're just living with a soil, a piece of soil, piece of fertilizer, a bag of fertilizer.
Yes, Tanajan, thank you. I will try my best.
Okay. Is that all for today?
Yes, that's it, Tanajan.
Okay. Let me say hello to Anotai. Hi, Anotai. Where are you from? Unmute your microphone.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what is the question that I have is like I think I hurt myself a lot by my mind, not by anything else. Example, like I hear something I don't like, I have a response in my head. I think about something bad, but I don't believe that I think about that like that, but it happened, just happened into my head. And then I make up something up. I just saw something and then I make my mind a story. I create the story in my head, but it's not real. It's not the true story. How can I stop that, sir?
You can use the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Keep reciting mantra when your mind starts to think, imagining things. Just force your mind to come to the mantra, recite the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto. Or if you can chant, you can do chanting also to stop your mind from thinking and making up story.
Mm-hmm. And another questions. I think I have a self. I don't know how to say it, but I think I create myself with my education, with my career. Example, I'm a doctor. I get a PhD, and then when I talk to someone and they say something with anger or something, I just don't listen to them. But my mind is like, I am a doctor. I have a doctor degrees. I'm a soldier. I'm a lieutenant colonel or something like that. I can't listen to what the story really is, but I think about myself. So I just use the mantra again, right?
That's right. You have this self-delusion, thinking yourself as being this and that, being a doctor, in fact, they're just something that you happen to come across, that's all, temporarily. sooner or later, when you die, all these things will go away from you.
Oh, yes.
So who you are really is just the one who knows. So you have to train yourself to be true to yourself, just to be merely knowing. Just know what people say, knowing what people do to you. Just know, and don't react. See? Let them do, because you cannot stop them. You cannot force them to do what you want them to do.
Yes.
This way you will not hurt yourself.
Mm.
If you just merely know.
So every time when I feel like that, I just go back to my breath, right?
Or you can use the mantra, because sometimes breathing is very difficult to watch.
Yes.
Using a mantra or chanting can be easier to stop your mind from reacting to whatever you are reacting to.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. All right. I think we have covered everybody now. So let me go to La. Do you have any questions from Facebook?
Yes, ท่านอาจารย์ there are 9 questions from Facebook, and the first question from Po Leong Soon. Can อาจารย์ explain Vipassana meditation?
Vipassana is the development of knowledge. The knowledge of the 3 characteristics of existence and the knowledge of the 4 noble truths. That's what Vipassana is about. To see everything like your body as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. The body is temporary. There's no self in this body. It's made up of the 4 elements, for instance. This is Vipassana, teaching your mind the real truth, not the conventional truth that we know. Like, I am a doctor, I am a policeman, so forth. This is just conventional truth. The real truth is the body is impermanent. It's subjected to aging, sickness, and death. It is anatta. There is no self in this body. This body is just a natural phenomena or natural process. This is what we call Vipassana, teaching in the mind the real truth, so that then it can then know how to deal with the body properly.
Next question from Chi Ching Chuan. Dear Ajahn, what is your opinion of the young monk nowadays using music and song to spread Dhamma? According to them, they are using different methods to encourage Dhamma. Thank you, Ajahn.
Well, they're certainly not following the Buddha. The Buddha didn't use any music to spread Dhamma, so they just don't know what they're doing. If they follow the Buddha, then they won't be doing this sort of thing.
Next question from Po Leong Soon. If people infected with COVID and maybe die, is it karma?
Well, karma really is taking birth is a real karma. Once you take birth, you'll get sick and die. So, getting sick with COVID-19 is just part of the result from taking birth. So the best way is not to take birth, have no rebirth. And to have no rebirth, you have to cut off your cravings. Okay.
Next question from Chi Ching Chuan. Dear Ajahn, how do I stop myself from completing with other people's achievement in their meditation? They always say they can meditate for hours and make fun of me that I cannot do so.
Well, you just have to compete with yourself, not compete with other people. Because competing with other people is useless, or it's not possible, because people have different ability. Some people can do more than you can. Some people do less than you can. But it's better for you to compete with yourself, because when you compete with yourself, then you are improving yourself, and you don't feel bad that way. Is that all?
Next question from Winston Go. In the present moment, if the mind is still thinking, can we direct our thoughts toward thinking of death or Dhamma? Like the takeaway from any Dhamma talk, sometimes the thought just pop up in the mind.
Yes, if you want to think, you should think of Dhamma. And then you're developing wisdom that way.
Next question from Xiao Chang. Ajahn, now when meditation, my breath quite fine, even just start to sit down. Last time, I have to use chanting to calm my mind before come to this state. Is it I'm progressing in meditation?
Yes, it means you have stronger mindfulness now than before. Is that all?
Next question from Tek Hong Ko. ท่านอาจารย์ in day-to-day mindfulness practice, how to deal with perception? Thank you.
Well, perception and mindfulness are two separate things. See? You keep perceiving when you come into contact with the sensual objects. This is automatic. When you see things, you perceive things as to what they are, for instance. This is automatic. But you can use mindfulness to stop your reaction to what you perceive. See? Normally when we perceive something we like, we have attraction. Or when we perceive something we don't like, we have aversion. We can avoid this attraction and aversion by using mindfulness, by reciting a mantra.
There's two questions from Amon Pan Pink. สวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์ Could you please elaborate how we can practice toward panya or wisdom in the right way?
Well, you have to think of the truth of life. For instance, this body is temporary. It doesn't last forever. This body will get old, get sick, and die. And we have to separate from everything that we have today. What we own today, what we have today, well, one day we will no longer have them. So this is what the way to think of wisdom. Anicca, anicca.
And the second question, could analyzing the problems to their root cause also be counted? This has helped me seeing, understanding, and accepting facts, then adjust my actions for sustainable problem mitigation. Should I continue so? Thank you.
I'm not sure. Can you repeat the question again?
Could analyzing the problems to their root cause also be counted? This has helped me seeing, understanding, and accepting facts, then adjust my actions for sustainable problem mitigation. Should I continue so, ka?
Well, if you can solve the problem by analyzing and thinking, then it's okay. That's what we have to do. We have to. Sometimes we have problem, then we have to analyze and solve it. Okay.
And the last question from Winston Go. Can Ajahn explain what is skillful speech? Is a white lie a skillful speech which the Buddha allowed?
White lies is used only on very exceptional circumstances, and if you don't know which one, then you shouldn't try to use it, because it will be more black lie than white lie. You know? It's only for the wise men to use white lies, but for us, we should avoid using white lies because they tend to be black lies instead. So try not to tell any lies, regardless of the circumstances. If you cannot speak the truth, then just shut up. Don't say anything. This is the safest way for us. But for the enlightened one, they can use white lies to teach us, to teach people, or help people. Okay. Okay. Now I think everybody has the chance to ask questions. And is anybody else wants to ask any more questions? You are welcome.
Sacha
Okay.
Kha. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, can you, Thanajan, thank you very much. Can you explain the right view a little bit?
Okay, the right view is a view of the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence. See, that everything in this world is anicca, dukkha, anatta, and our suffering, our stress, our mental stress are caused out by our cravings, our defilements. So we have
So it
to
is as
start.
simple. So it is as simple as that.
Yeah, it's
Anicca,
simple
dukkha.
that anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's the foundation of the Buddha's enlightenment. See, no one knows about the Four Noble Truths or the anicca, dukkha, anatta until the Buddha discovered it and then spread it to us. So this is right view. That's what we want to develop, to see everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta. To see that our dukkha is caused by our attachment to everything. So we have to stop clinging to things and be ready to let them go when the time comes for them to go.
One more question, that when you have for the lay people, lay practitioners, when I have one meal, is there any recommended time of the day that when one should have the meal?
Well, it depends on your convenience, I guess. Convenience it should be, but it shouldn't be after midday. Anytime from morning before midday will be more or less suitable, because then you want to have the rest of the time do meditation practice. If you eat somewhere in the evening, for instance, you'll be hungry all day and you won't have the mind to meditate. And then when you eat in the evening, when you finish eating, you will feel sleepy and you want to go to sleep. So normally you should follow the Buddha's way. He eats in the morning. After he go collect food from alms round, then he eat. And then once he finished, then he has no problem with eating, no worry about eating. And he will be free to practice until the time to go to bed, to go to sleep. So yes, probably in
One
the
last
morning.
question.
Okay.
One last question, Ajahn,
Okay.
that you know, if somebody goes for ordination and you know, I'm talking personally, really, in that case, and what if you don't cut it? You understand? Means like, what, you know, you give up everything and then you go there and you you know, like you like you are taking the plunge, and when do I know for sure? Because I'm
Well,
settling down the things.
normally when you before you can take ordination, if you go to the Thai forest tradition temple monastery, they will ask you to live as a preceptor for 1 year first, to see whether you can do it or not. After 1 year, if you feel confident, then you can then give up everything. But if you feel not so sure, you can still keep the money in the bank, you know, just as a backup. In case you couldn't do it, then you can always disrobe and then rely on the money that you save in the bank. But you must not use it when you become a monk. That's all. But if you're confident that you won't need the money, then you can just give it to charity.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Anybody else? Please raise your hand and unmute your microphone.
Nigel.
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. Actually, today I have no question, but like I can only do what I can do now. So I bought some needles and food for you. So can you accept it? I will let you see it. Can you accept? Can you accept it?
Okay, I virtually accept what you give me.
Well, at least I have to let you see, or I
Okay.
may be deceiving you.
Okay, thank you very much. Then you must give it to somebody else, okay? Don't keep it for yourself.
Yes, of course. This I bought it today for you, just for you.
All right, thank you. Then you have to give it to someone else for me, okay?
Okay,
So
okay.
then you will have actually do the charity.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
Alvin.
Alvin
next.
Nanajan, just a quick question. Coming back to Sila and Samadhi and Panya, if one cannot hold on to one of the 5 precepts, can we still attain jhana?
Well, try it. If you drink and you get drunk, you will not be able to enter into jhana. If you lie, you might have some guilty conscience, and when you meditate, this guilty conscience might disturb your mind from becoming calm. So it's better to have pure sila, so that you won't have any guilty conscience when you meditate to disturb you.
Okay. So we, excuse me, so we need the perfect pure sila and the 5 precepts.
Not perfect, but to the point where it doesn't bother you. Let's put it that way when you meditate.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
No.
Okay, I think our next meeting will be on Tuesday from now on for a while. There's no need to switch to Monday. So I won't have to announce it every time. So next Tuesday, if you have the time you want to come in, you are welcome to come in and join our meeting. Okay, in the meantime, thank you for joining this meeting. I hope that it can be of some benefit to you and help you in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay healthy and mindful. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thanajan.
Thank you, Thanajan. Thank you, Thanajan.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Everyone.
Thanks, Amin. Thanks,
Everyone.
Happy New Year to you, Thanajan.
Happy New Year.
To everyone. Bye.
Happy New Year, admin and everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you, admin. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanajan.
You, Kunlar.